talking some MMA in the sports office today. We got Ricky Kottensette, who's in charge of the Winklejohn and Jackson fighting series, and Willie Parks, fighter who's just now coming in Albuquerque. I guess you've the reputation for Albuquerque has like lured you in, huh?
Yeah, it did.
What do you know about this guy before you came here, about Ricky, before you decided you were going to come up here?
Actually, I didn't know much. I just knew he was general manager of Jackson's camp. That's all I pretty much knew about him.
Yeah, Willie's one of the first athletes in a while that Greg and Mr. Winklejohn have actually recruited. So, Willie he's an Olympic level athlete, wrestler.
So he wouldn't even tell us that. You waited for Ricky to tell us. You think you would be talking trash if you told us, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I really don't ever say much about credentials, man. I just like to show what I can do when I get out there.
So we're gonna let Ricky finish telling us all about you, because you won't tell us.
Yeah, as you know, mixed martial arts has kind of attracted people, professional football players, wrestlers, but dominantly wrestlers have the best opportunity in mixed martial arts to become great mixed martial arts, because they have such a good ground base. But with mixed martial arts and UFC on the rise, guys like Willie, who are Olympic level athletes, are moving to Albuquerque to train at the Jackson's Winklejohn Academy. So every now and then we'll get a name, and Greg will say, I want that guy. And very rare that it happens, but Willie's one of those recipients of that, where my job was to go out there and really make Willie feel at home. And the cool part about it is now he's a fixture here. He's an instructor at the academy. So it's an opportunity for kids, our kids wrestling, our kids jiu-jitsu programs, to come in and learn from the high school wrestlers, especially to learn from an Olympic level athlete, which there isn't any in this town besides Willie for wrestling.
Wow, that's going to change like the landscape and stuff too, as far as wrestlers that's coming to you guys for instruction, huh? I mean, you probably have some high school guys coming in, or to like sharpen up their game, or not.
Oh, right now I think it's all ages. I mean, you got guys coming in from, I think, 8th graders to kids in high school that come in and want to get the work done and learn technique and get better. So.
Yeah, and Willie's very new to being an instructor there, so that's the cool part. Is for people that don't know, he's with us. So if you're interested, come down. He does private lessons. If you're a high school wrestler, you're a junior high wrestler, you're looking to get your kid to take it to the next level, he does private lessons as well. But with that being said, Willie's, we're able to use him for our next series of fights, the Jackson's MMA series, which is at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Albuquerque, December 18th. And Willie's, we're blessed to have Willie on the card. So it's an opportunity for us to, when we started the series, we needed to feed guys to the UFC. And this is an opportunity for just like the Dukes are for the Dodgers, this is an opportunity where you're going to see what Mr. Winklejohn and Greg Jackson have coming up in the sport. Who are you going to see in the UFC someday? Guys like Willie Parks, for sure. And I think you'll see Willie probably in the UFC within, Greg and Winkle sharpening his skills, probably within, hopefully within the next year and a half. You'll be seeing Willie on TV, but you'll get to see him fight first on the Jackson's MMA series on the 18th.
Well, that's pretty cool. That Jackson MMA series that you got going. And for people who haven't been to it, I understand it's kind of like a Vegas show a little bit. I mean, tell us what it's like. I mean, if to go to that thing.
It's awesome. It's an experience. We put on events. We don't put on fights. So when you come, the DJ, we've got an incredible DJ. He's a part of the show. The lighting, the audio, the video, the sound. There's pre-fight videos. You establish your relationship with the fighter before they come out. So if you don't know anything about Willie Parks, you don't know anything about Julie Kedzie, you're going to watch Julie Kedzie get an interview before she comes out about why she wants to, fight this opponent. What's it going to take her to the next level? And so you kind of, even if you don't know her, you get to know her before she comes out on the big screens. There's 5 screens that are a part of the show. And, it's attracting like a young crowd. Our attendance is now the top-rated show that the Hard Rock has over there for athletic events. So we've done that in 3 shows. So we're really excited, bringing in top-level guys like Frank Gomez, who's a WC UFC fighter, and he's the main event, versus Johnny Bedford, who's a Bellator vet, which is a Fox Sports Net League. So you're able to see these high-level athletes that are just on the cusp. You'll see Frank fight in the UFC hopefully next year, Willie in the year after that. So this is the time for you guys to come down and meet these guys before they go to the next level.
And this is like the same day as the Mexico Bowl, right? Like there's a football game in the morning, you go to MMA card in the evening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the football game ends around 3 o'clock, and we don't start till 7. So it's going to be a good opportunity for people to come out. And the cool part is that, with Willie, training, as a wrestling coach, he trains the UFC guys as well. So you've got big guys training with Willie, the guys like Keith Jardine, Nate Marquardt. He was just up in Montreal with George St. Pierre, the 170-pound champion, working wrestling with George. So he's actually a coach to those guys as well, and showing them things. And of course, they're better in other areas, and they're striking, and they teach him things. So these guys come and support. They're going to come watch Willie fight. So if you want to come and see your favorite UFC fighter, they're all going to be in attendance as well. So it's a good time.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that when they go to those things, that the Jackson MMA series, that they see all these guys from UFC and everything, like it's all like a smorgasbord,
Yeah. Well, they all train together, so they're blood, sweat, and tears together in the gym. It's just like these guys that go out there on the football field and lay it down in practice, and then they go and play for another team. They're going to come support them. And so with Willie working with these guys and all these other guys training with each other, there's a total of 11 fights. So there's 11 Jackson's fighters from top to bottom on this card. So there's no lack of action. So even if Willie works with Keith Jardine, Rashad Evans, and Nate Marquardt and George St. Pierre, Julie works with some of the females, and then you have some of the other guys that are cornered by some of the other fighters. So they all kind of come. The lighter weight guys, Clay Guida, Joe Stevenson, Melvin Gillard, these guys all come to support the lighter guys. The heavier weight guys come and want to see Willie fight. So, and Willie's got a good fight coming in front of him, fighting a gentleman by the name of Josh Lanier. He's a black belt in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, so it's going to be Jiu-Jitsu versus wrestling. So,
how's that going to be, Willie?
I feel like I can dominate the fight.
Hey, you've been sitting here real quiet and acting all shy and blushing, and then just all of a sudden, I can dominate the fight.
I mean, that's just my goal. That's just what I think, and that's kind of every day, and that's what I actually talk to coaches about is learning to just dominate every position, and so I don't put myself in a position where I can lose the fight if I do that.
How excited are you about, like, this is a new thing for you? I mean, coming from, like, traditional, like, wrestling, and then being on the Olympic level, and then changing that to MMA, like, this could actually be financially beneficial for you, too, as a professional.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's actually a dream come true, man. I never thought I would be able to get this opportunity, and I'm just so happy to be welcomed down at Jackson's and be able to teach and to train at the same time. I mean, I think that'll be any dream. I mean, that'll be a dream that I think anyone that is in the sport would love to have, an opportunity to be around the best guys and the best coaches and the best team.
For some people who aren't familiar with you, like Ricky touched on your career a little bit, but what are some like the highlights of your career?
I actually won nationals twice, a 2-time national champion in college, and that's probably my highest goal. I actually took third at the Olympic trials in 2008. So and I actually went to Worlds twice. I took fourth at Worlds, and I took fifth at Worlds also. So I have a lot of little accomplishments that I'm happy with, but I wasn't number one, and this is something that I feel like I want to be number one at, the best in the world, not fourth, not fifth, number one. So I had to take that, and I'm working towards that right now.
And Ricky's gonna help you with that striking, huh?
Yeah.
He's in trouble. If I'm helping, he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's teaching me how to use my hands a little more,
Just to strangle people in the office when I'm agitated. Yeah, he's working with Mr. Winklejohn quite a bit, so with doing that, it's leaps and bounds. His career is gonna, Rashad Evans, from when he was a wrestler on The Ultimate Fighter, from where he started working with Mr. Winklejohn, you see him using these high head kicks on Sean Salmon, knocking him out cold. You see him throwing the overhand on Chuck Liddell. All those were choreographed from Mr. Winklejohn and come out of the Jackson's camp. So this is an opportunity for him to get molded by some of the best coaches in the world, and he's just barely at the tip of the iceberg. We got him from up in Colorado. He was training at the Olympic Training Center. Spent some time at our affiliate up in Grudge, and that's where he really met Nate Marquardt and Trevor Whitman, the boxing coach with Jackson's in Grudge. And so this is an opportunity. Now he's living down here full time. He's coaching down here full time, and then fighting for the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Albuquerque. It should be fun.
I think people don't realize that this is like the epicenter of mixed martial arts. Albuquerque is, because we know it because we're around here covering this stuff all the time. But I don't think people realize how this is like ground zero for that.
Yeah, and we've got obviously guys like Willie, Julie Kedzie, who's a top female fighter in the world, ranked number 6, I believe now. She's got a real tough fight against a undefeated wrestler, Sarah Delalio. Diego Brandao is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt from Brazil. So we're getting people from all over the world. We've in the past, Ali from Egypt. We've got Tom Watson from England. We just worked with Yoshihiro Akiyama from Japan. So it's kind of become a mecca of mixed martial arts. And the cool part is this last year, Richard Berry recognized Greg Jackson, Winklejohn Day.
Sure did. We did a story on that.
Yeah.
And so he knows.
Yeah. And Albuquerque's getting a little bit more notoriety from it. The governor was getting in on it. There's a new film called The Proving Grounds, also sponsored by the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And the cool part about it is it's a big production film that just wrapped, and we should be having a premiere at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino soon. But
The Proving Grounds.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
It's about how Greg Jackson got started, how this crew, back when Greg was 17 years old, 1992, how he got started, 17 years old. Parents gave him the money, got him some mats, and this thing started on West Central in the ghetto.
Wow.
And how has it become where all these people from all around the world are coming here? On our way over here, I'm trying to get a workout at the gym, and I told Willie to meet me at the gym. We're gonna come down here together, and I got the door locked just so I could get a workout because these guys catching the bus coming up Central from a conference downtown, and they're in suits, and they came all filming the parking lot, the signs, and the amount of tourism that we're getting a day is just so astronomical that I wish I had more staff to keep up with it because the interest of people that are here, we have to go to Jackson, we have to see it.
Wow, that's unbelievable, man. I did not know that. That's very interesting. And speaking of being interesting, I know you guys have things to do. And Ricky, Willie, thank you all very much for coming up. And, Kevin Dermody behind the camera today. Robert Bugsley is gone. He's on another mission. You guys give him a hard time next time we're in the sports office. We'll see you later.